All right, ready to dive into the world of sensor engineering technicians.
Let's get you prepped for that interview.
We're going deep with RoleCatcher's career and interview guides.
Yeah, they've got some great resources.
So you're thinking about a career as a sensor engineering technician, huh?
Hmm.
Let's break down what that actually looks like day to day.
Well, think hands-on, building and testing, the heart of sensor tech.
Okay, so like actually putting together those sensors that are in everything these days?
Exactly. And not just building, but testing, maintaining, making sure they're working right.
That's cool. Where do sensor engineering technicians usually work? What kind of industries?
Oh, tons of places. Healthcare is huge right now. Automotive, aerospace.
Wow, so like self-driving cars, medical devices, even spaceships.
You got it.
Sign me up. But okay, before I get ahead of myself, what's the not so glamorous side? Every job has one, right?
Right. The career guide does mention that.
What do they say?
Well, it can be demanding, long hours sometimes, and depending on the industry, potentially working with hazardous materials. Safety's a big deal.
Okay, good to know. So not all robots and cool gadgets then.
It's a mix for sure, but the tech is definitely cutting edge.
All right, let's say you're ready to apply, you've got the skills, you're passionate. How do you nail that interview?
Well, RoleCatcher's interview guide is like a cheat sheet for that.
Okay, let's dive in. Give me a sample question.
All right, how about this one? What experience do you have with sensor technology?
Sounds simple enough, but I bet there's a right and a wrong way to answer.
Definitely. It's not just about listing every sensor you've ever seen.
What does RoleCatcher say?
They emphasize showcasing your passion.
Oh, I see. Like, even if I haven't worked professionally with sensors, I can talk about that robot I built in my garage with Arduino.
Absolutely. Personal projects are great examples.
So how would you answer that question?
Well, I'd say something like, I've been fascinated by sensor technology since I was a kid, always tinkering with electronics. In college, I took a bunch of courses on electronics and even built my own weather station using Arduino for a project.
That's impressive.
I'm always reading up on new sensor tech and how it's being used, something like that.
So show them you're genuinely interested, even outside of work.
Exactly. And be ready for follow-up questions about those projects.
Like, what kind of challenges did you face?
Right. They want to see how you think, how you problem solve.
Got it. Okay, hit me with another question.
All right, here's a common one. How familiar are you with programming languages used in sensor engineering?
Uh-oh, now we're getting technical.
A little bit, but don't panic.
The guide mentions C++, Python, Java. Do I need to be a coding whiz?
It depends on the role, but basic understanding is usually good.
What if I'm not super strong in those specific languages?
Highlight your strongest one, even if it's not directly used in sensor work.
Okay, so emphasize transferable skills.
Exactly. And mention any projects where you've used those skills, even if they weren't sensor specific.
So if I built a website using, say, JavaScript, that still shows I can code.
Exactly. Adaptability is key.
All right, next question.
What experience do you have with data analysis and visualization tools?
Oh boy, data. Sensors generate a ton of data, right?
Tons. And employers want to know you can handle it. Make sense of it.
The guide lists MATLAB, LabVIEW, Python libraries. I've dabbled in some of those.
Dabbled is a good start. Highlight what you do know.
What if I mostly use Excel for data analysis?
That's fine. Talk about how you've used it, what you've learned.
Okay, so focus on the principles of data analysis, even if the tools aren't the same.
Right. Show them you can think critically about data, draw conclusions.
Got it. I'm feeling a bit more confident already.
That's what we like to hear. Ready for another one?
Bring it on.
All right, how about this? Can you describe your experience with sensor calibration?
Calibration. That's making sure the sensor's accurate, right?
Exactly. It's crucial. And they want to see you understand why.
So I should talk about specific times I've calibrated sensors.
Yes. What equipment did you use? What were the steps? Don't be afraid to get a little technical.
Even if it was just in a lab setting at school.
Yes. It shows you understand the process.
Okay, got it. What's next?
All right, let's tackle troubleshooting. Can you describe a time when you had to troubleshoot a sensor system?
Troubleshooting. That always makes me nervous.
It can be tricky, but the interview guide recommends the STAR method.
STAR method. What's that?
Situation, task, action, result.
Oh, like a storytelling framework.
Exactly. Tell them a story about a time you faced a sensor problem and how you solved it.
What if I don't have a work-related example?
Use a project, even if it was just fixing your kid's toy that had a sensor.
So the point is to showcase my problem-solving process.
Exactly. How you think, how you approach challenges.
I like that. It takes the pressure off having perfect work experience.
Right. And this is where RoleCatcher's AI can be really helpful.
Oh yeah, we haven't talked much about that yet.
It can analyze the job description and suggest specific experiences to highlight.
Cool, so it's like a personalized guide for tailoring my answers.
Exactly. We'll dive deeper into RoleCatcher's AI features later, but for now, I think you're doing great with these questions.
Thanks, I'm feeling a lot more prepared already.
That's the goal. Ready for a few more?
Ring 'em on. I'm starting to enjoy this.
That's the spirit. Let's see what else we've got. All right, ready for some more interview practice?
Hit me with it.
Okay, this one's a bit more technical. Can you describe your experience with PCB design and assembly?
PCB design. That's like the brains of the circuit, right?
Exactly. Printed circuit boards, the foundation of all the electronics.
The guide mentions Altium and Eagle software. I've heard of those, but haven't used them.
That's okay. Not all roles require deep PCB design expertise.
So what should I say if they ask?
Be honest about your experience level. If you've got some, even basic, describe it.
Like, even if it was just a simple circuit I built for a school project.
Absolutely. Talk about the principles, the steps involved.
Okay, and if I don't have any PCB experience?
Focus on your other strengths. Troubleshooting, calibration, those are all relevant.
And that's where RoleCatcher can help, right?
Bingo. Their AI can suggest which skills to highlight based on the job description.
So it's like having a custom prep guide for each interview.
Exactly. Okay, next question. Can you describe your experience with firmware development for sensor systems?
Firmware? That's like the software inside the hardware, right?
You got it. The code that makes the sensor do its thing.
I've done some programming,
Yeah.
but not sure about firmware specifically.
No worries. The principles are similar. Highlight your coding skills, any projects you've done.
Even if they weren't sensor related.
Yep. They want to see you can learn and adapt.
Got it. What about sensor integration? I bet that's a big part of the job.
Huge. Sensors rarely work in isolation. They got to talk to other systems.
Okay, so like, if I built a project where a sensor sent data to my computer.
Perfect example. Talk about how you did it, what challenges you faced.
Okay, so it's all about connecting my skills to real-world examples, even if they weren't in a job setting.
Exactly. You're getting the hang of this. Ready for a tough one.
Bring it on.
All right. Can you describe your experience with sensor data analysis for predictive maintenance?
Predictive maintenance. Sounds futuristic.
It is. Using data to predict when equipment might fail before it actually does.
Wow, like a crystal ball for machines.
Pretty much. It's all about analyzing patterns, spotting anomalies.
I haven't done anything that fancy, but I have noticed patterns in my car's sensor data, like when something's about to go wrong.
That's a great example. You're already thinking like a predictive maintenance pro.
Cool. So real-world experience counts, even if it's not from a job.
Absolutely. Okay, last question for this round. Can you describe your experience with sensor system validation and verification?
Validation and verification. Sounds important, but kind of confusing.
It's about making sure the system works as intended and is built correctly.
Okay, so like double-checking everything.
Exactly. Testing, documenting, following procedures.
What if I've only done basic testing for my own projects?
That's fine. Describe what you did, how you made sure things worked right.
Okay, got it. So even though I might not have years of industry experience, I can still highlight those core skills.
You got it. And remember, RoleCatcher can help you tailor those answers to the specific job.
That's a huge help.
Yeah.
I'm feeling much more confident about this interview stuff.
Excellent. Confidence is key. But now, let's shift gears a bit.
Okay, what's next?
We've talked about acing the interview, but what about the bigger picture? The career path itself?
Oh yeah, good point. What does the career guide say about that?
Well, it outlines the typical stages, gives you a roadmap of where this role can lead.
Cool. Tell me more.
It usually starts with entry level, assisting senior engineers, learning the ropes.
Okay, so like an apprenticeship.
Exactly. Then you move to junior level, more responsibility, maybe leading small projects.
So you're starting to climb the ladder.
Right. Then mid-level, leading larger projects, mentoring others.
And finally, the top dog, the senior level.
Yep, the gurus, overseeing everything, maybe even doing R&D.
Wow, there's a clear path for growth. I like that.
And the guide even gives examples of people at each stage, what they did to get there.
That's inspiring. Gives you a sense of what's possible.
Right. Okay, so we've talked skills, we've talked career path, but there's one more big thing looming,
What's that?
the AI revolution.
Oh, yeah, everyone's talking about that. How AI is changing hiring.
It's huge. AI is being used to screen resumes, even conduct interviews.
So we need to make sure our applications are AI friendly.
Absolutely, and that's where RoleCatcher really shines.
Okay, tell me how they help us beat the bots.
Remember their CV resume builder? It suggests keywords based on the job description.
Yeah, like a secret weapon for getting noticed.
Those keywords are crucial for applicant tracking systems, the AI that filters resumes.
So if I don't have the right keywords, my resume might never even reach a human.
Exactly. RoleCatcher helps you get past that AI gatekeeper.
Wow, that's important.
And it's not just keywords. The AI analyzes your resume's structure and formatting, too.
So it has to be readable by the bots.
Right. Appealing to both AI and humans, that's RoleCatcher's magic.
What about AI-powered interviews? How do we prep for those?
Remember that chatbot on RoleCatcher?
Yeah, the one that simulates an interview.
Practicing with that can actually help you get comfortable with the style of AI interviews.
Oh, I see. So it's not just a fun feature, it's actually useful practice.
Exactly. Clear, concise answers, using those keywords, it all helps.
So RoleCatcher's got us covered on the AI front. That's a relief.
They're staying ahead of the curve, making sure you're prepared for whatever comes next.
This AI stuff can be intimidating, but it sounds like RoleCatcher's turning it into an advantage.
Exactly. They're giving you the tools to navigate this new world of hiring.
I'm feeling a lot more confident about all of this thanks to our deep dive.
That's what we like to hear. But wait, there's more.
More. What else is there?
We've talked the technical stuff, the career path, even AI, but what about the day-to-day reality of being a sensor engineering technician?
Oh, good point.
Mm,
What's it actually like? The good, the bad, the unexpected.
that's what we'll explore in part 3. The nitty-gritty, the real-world challenges, and the ultimate rewards.
Sounds intriguing. Can't wait to hear more. All right, back for the final round of our Sensor Engineering Technician Deep Dive.
We've covered a lot of ground, but now it's time for the real talk.
Okay, I'm ready. Lay it on me. What's it actually like to be a sensor engineering technician?
Well, the career guide gives us some hints.
Okay, what do they say?
It's not just about the technical skills.
Yeah, right.
You got to have a certain mindset.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What kind of mindset?
Well, first off, curiosity.
Curiosity.
Yeah, you got to be the kind of person who's always asking why.
So not just following instructions, but wanting to understand how things work.
Exactly. Sensor tech is always evolving. You
Yeah.
got to be excited about learning new things.
So lifelong learner, always tinkering, experimenting.
Exactly. And then, this might seem obvious, but attention to detail is huge EE.
Yeah, I can see that. Sensors all about precision, right?
Right. Even a tiny mistake can throw everything off.
So you got to be meticulous, patient, organized.
All of that. And here's one you might not expect.
Okay, hit me.
A sense of humor.
A sense of humor. Why?
Because things will go wrong.
Oh, I bet. Glitches, bugs, all that fun stuff.
Exactly. And when they do, you got to be able to laugh it off.
So not getting discouraged easily, being able to roll with the punches.
Exactly. It's a demanding field.
Yeah, sounds like it.
You got to be able to handle the pressure. And sometimes the best way to do that is to just laugh.
Okay, I like that. So curiosity, attention to detail, a good sense of humor.
That's a great recipe for success.
And of course, all those technical skills we talked about and a good interview strategy.
Absolutely. But hey, before we wrap up, I wanted to mention one more thing.
Okay, what's that?
Remember how we talked about asking smart questions in the interview?
Yeah, to show you've done your research, that you're really interested.
Right. Well, I think that same principle applies throughout your career.
Oh, I see. So not just in the interview, but on the job, too.
Exactly. Don't be afraid to ask questions, to challenge assumptions, to dig deeper.
So keep that curiosity going.
Absolutely. That's how you learn, that's how you grow, that's how you stay ahead of the curve.
That's great advice. I think we've given our listeners a lot to think about today.
We've covered a lot of ground.
From the technical skills to the interview prep, the career path, even the AI revolution.
And most importantly, what it takes to really thrive in this exciting field.
So to all those aspiring sensor engineering technicians out there,
We say go for it.
it's a challenging field, but also incredibly rewarding.
And who knows, maybe you'll be the one designing the sensors that change the world.
That's a wrap on this episode of The Deep Dive.
We'll catch you next time for another deep dive into a new career path.
Until then, keep learning, keep exploring, and keep asking those questions.